Hey friends, welcome to the channel. My name's Craig. In today's video, we're going to be looking at all things chords on the Ableton Move. Let's get to it. So here is the new fantastic Ableton Move, and I am in note mode. Now we have two ways to lay out these notes. We have an in-key mode like this. We hold down Shift and press the little kind of musical icon here. We can go up to in-key and we can switch it over to chromatic, which gives us not only the notes that are in the key, but also the notes in between, so we can play non-diatonic harmony. Most people will naturally gravitate towards the in-key mode because you essentially can't play a wrong note. But I think it's not the best mode for playing chords. Let me show you why. Much to my disappointment, it's not like in-key mode on the push controller. The notes are laid out slightly different. It's more like what you call the subsequent mode or sequential mode. I can't remember the exact name, but it's where the notes are laid out in lines essentially. So here I'm in the key of C major. And as I go from left to right, I will play the C major scale. And then you see when a note lights up green like this on a different pad, that means you're playing the same note. So then if I go carry on the scale, awesome. Okay, so now what was cool about the note mode on the push is we could use like a triangle sort of shape and it would play a major triad. Now that's not the case with this mode. We have to play it like almost like a normal keyboard. This is our major triad. So it's play a note, miss one out, play a note, miss one out. Want to do a seventh? We've got all them there. Now this is where this gets a bit annoying because if we move that across, then we have to kind of start working out different shapes, and yeah, it gets a bit annoying. We can't simply go up. We just get octaves, okay? So the way to think about this is we want a seventh shape. A seventh is quite a nice chord, and we want to think about how we voice it. We don't need all the notes. The usual voicing for a seventh chord is we lose the fifth degree, which is not really a characteristic interval. It just kind of supports the root. So we have a root, third and seventh, like all the main flavors. So how we do this, like this, root, third and seventh. Now what's annoying is that also gets a bit kind of annoying because we can't really move that around. We've got this sort of shape here. It's not very logical. So what I suggest doing is moving out the third and putting in a 9 instead. And we can do this by not playing it like this, but this, putting the 9, which is the second degree, up the octave, and you get this really nice sounding chord. And then if we put that there, we get the 7th. So we got like a 7-9. So we've lost the third and got a 9. So that's that shape. Again, you're probably thinking that's not really that movable, Craig. If I move that up there, that has now made that 7th there. See, that lights up here. So we can get this shape. Nice. Let's put that down the octave. So that's one. So that's like the 7th shape. There's another one we can do where we kind of play the 9th, and we put the 3rd in as well. And then we put this note here, which is like the sus4. So we basically put the sus4 up the octave as well as the 9. And basically we're playing like an extended chord there. Now, the reason why I'm talking in intervals and not like major third or anything like that is because this is in key mode. So now if I switch this to minor, so we go C minor, do the same shape. So that's our like extension shape. And then the other shape that we did, this one, and we moved it to this. Oh, such nice chord shapes. So now let's look at chromatic mode. So chromatic mode works a lot like a guitar. So if we think about this as like a bass guitar, so we got 4 strings. This is the low E string, A, D, G string, boom, 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 boom. Imagine each one of these space as a fret on the fretboard. And the illuminated frets are the notes that are in the chosen key. Now, when we change the key, it just changes which notes are lit up. Imagine this as one line, and we go from left to right, and we play all the illuminated notes. when we run out of notes, we go up. And then we go left to right, and we're going vertical. Now, can you see as well? So now this note here could be played here. So I got. So essentially I could play the scale by just playing. And if I wanted to go in position. That's kind of how chromatic mode works. And what's cool about chromatic mode and guitar in general is if you have what you call closed position shapes, we don't use any open strings. There's no strings here, nothing as such as an open string. We can use shapes on the guitar and just move them around. Now, the awesome thing is a power chord on the guitar. Just learn one shape, move it around, use your ear, go nuts, make a tune. So that's what we can do here. Now, we've got two shapes. We've got the major 7 shape and we've got minor 7 shape. Now, this I do have a PDF for as well. I've linked on the screen in the description below. It's made for the push 3, but because the chromatic mode works exactly the same as the push, it'll work here. Now, I'm hoping as an update they will bring in line the in-key mode, but for now, this I think is much better for playing chords because we have some really easy shapes. Okay, so the first one, the major 7, the shape you want is we're going to find a note that's illuminated that has like a square of notes. You see here you got 4 and you got 4. That's where we're going to start. Okay, and the shape is you play a note and then you're going to play another note that's diagonally opposite to it, so like that. So it's one space along an upper line. And to find the last note, we're going to go to the very top line and we're going to move from the root note. So like if we're in this column, we're going to move one space to the right. So you get that shape. And like I say, that's on the PDF as well. And I'll put the shape up on the screen so you can see. Now that can be moved anywhere in chromatic mode. It doesn't just have to be in key. So that's all chromatic, so it's not diatonic, but it works. And also it works up an octave. Okay, so now let's look at a minor 7th shape. So we got this. So what we need to do is we need to find a pad that also has a diagonal lit up pad, but one space to the left. So like that. So it's move along 3 and up 1. And then we want to move up the same column, misalign out like that. So we've got like that. So we can do the shape like this, one hand. So with those shapes, you've got 4 chords that are in key that are pretty jazzy sounding. So you got this one. Another noteworthy one is it's the same minor 7, but it's kind of a different inversion, and it's really, really easy to do. If you look up on the screen, it's just like. And put that up the octave, then we've got like. Yeah, so we got some options to play around with there. Some really cool chords. So to summarize, 2 chord shapes and 1 inversion this time. So major 7th, and that's in any key, and minor 7th. Minor 7th first inversion. And just to reiterate, that can be played anywhere on here, so it doesn't have to be in key. So you can do all that. Have a little play with it. If you'd like to take a deeper dive with this amazing move and find out if the 4 tracks is really a limitation or not, you want to check out this video here where I unpack all its full features.